Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Robbie Contreras, and this is a trip planner to the cities of London and Sydney. So, first things first, you need to get a passport. To get one, you need to arrange an appointment at the nearest CRE office. Then you have to fill the written request with black pen. The request is free, by the way. Then you have to pay the tax at the bank. Later you'll have to bring the following documents, each one of them with its respective letter-size black and white photocopy. You have to bring the birth certificate, the certificate of Mexican nationality, and of course the naturalization papers. Oh, and you also need two passport-size photos with white background. Then you'll have to present the receipt of the tax payments depending on the term chosen. In my case, I'm gonna go with a 1-year term, which it will cost around $32. And finally, the only thing you have to do is wait until your passport is ready. That probably is gonna take 1 hour. So, if we're talking about the visa, you don't need one if you want to travel to London. But you do need a visa if you want to travel to Sydney or any other part of Australia. So to get one, you got to first enter to the website of the Australian Embassy. There you'll have to get a solicitor and also make an appointment for an interview at the Australian Embassy. Then you'll have to pay 1,350 pesos to get your visa. And finally, you have to get to your DHL office and pick up your visa. So what kind of clothes I'm going to take to the trip? Well, here's the thing. London is well known for having a cold weather. But since I'm going during the summer, I think I'm gonna take just a few warm clothes, considering Sydney's hot weather, of course. So, in conclusion, I'm gonna take a lot of clothes, such as a jacket, a hooded jacket, a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, a coat, my pajamas, 2 pair of shoes, shrimp trunk, a few jeans, a scarf, and these awesome slippers. All of them carried in a backpack and in a hand luggage. Unfortunately, both Australia and the UK speak English, so I think there won't be any problem with the language, except for the pronunciation. Now let's begin with our trip. First day of my journey, I'm gonna head to the International Airport Benito Juarez. My flight departures at 11 p.m., but I think I will be at the airport at 9 p.m., just to be sure. The class is flexible economy, and the flight is gonna take around 12 hours with 5 minutes. That's a long time. Once I arrive at Heathrow Airport, I'm gonna disembark, collect my luggage, and exit through customs. Then I'm gonna take a taxi to Westminster Bridge Hotel, one of the most luxurious and impressive hotels in London. There I'm gonna check in and unpack my stuff at my room, which is the Superior Twin Room. Then I'm gonna explore the hotel, and then I'm gonna take a walk through the streets of London. During my walk, I'm gonna head to Green Park, which is a small park located on the west side of London. And let me tell you something, it has a wonderful atmosphere. Then I'm gonna head to the first museum I'm gonna visit here in London, the Sherlock Holmes Museum, which is located on the 22 of Baker Street, the address where, according to a novel, Sherlock Holmes used to live in. On the second day of my journey, I'm gonna head to Madame Tussauds, a famous museum where you can find many celebrities, such as the current James Bond, MJ, Katy Perry, that guy from The King's Speech, Morgan Freeman, Adele, Hitler, and Winston Churchill, Emma Watson, the Beatles, the Avengers, and all the celebrities you can think of. Then I'm gonna take a walk at Hyde Park, another splendid park which is quite bigger, actually it's bigger than Green Park, and probably even more beautiful. Later I'm gonna go to the Wolseley to taste the Welsh Rabbit, which is a toasted bread with savory sauce of metal cheese. At the beginning I thought it was actually rabbit meat. Anyway, later I'm gonna head to Buckingham Palace to watch the Painting Paradise exhibition. Later I'm gonna head to Westminster Palace and probably take some photos and get into the London Eye. On the third day of my journey I'm gonna head to St. Paul Cathedral. a place with an amazing architecture. Then I'm gonna head to Covent Garden, a place where you can find many things, from vegetables to jewelry. Later I'm gonna head to Simpsons in the Strand to taste the Sunday roast, another British meal which consists of roasted meat and mashed or roasted potato. Afterwards I'm gonna take a walk at Trafalgar Square. Once I'm done there, I'm gonna head to the National Gallery and enjoy some beautiful pieces of art. On the fourth day of my journey, I'm gonna head to Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, and then I'm gonna buy a ticket to watch a play. After the play, I'm gonna head to the Tate Modern, a place where you can find interesting pieces of art. Then I'm gonna head to the Tower of London, an important place in British history, and probably I'm also gonna take some pictures. Afterwards, I'm gonna cross Tower Bridge in order to get to the restaurant Roast. After eating, I'm gonna head back to Tower Bridge to pay for the London Bridge experience. This one is quite a particular attraction because at the same time you're getting scared by the young actors, you can also learn some of London's dark history in the process. And if you're brave enough, you can get to the next attraction, the Tombs, which kids are not allowed to enter. On the next day, I'm gonna head to the Sea Life London Aquarium, where you can find a lot of kind of fishes and other creatures that live in the sea. Then I'm gonna head to the British Museum, where you can learn a lot about the Greek and the Egypt culture. Later I'm gonna visit the Science Museum, where I'm gonna watch the exhibition of the Mysteries of the Unseen World. Later I'm gonna taste at Rules the beef Wellington, which is made of fillet stick, baked and puff pastry. Then I'm gonna head to Westfield Shopping Center to buy something. On the sixth day of my journey, I'm gonna head to Victoria and Albert Museum, which is considered as the world's largest museum of decorative arts and design. Then I would like to go to Brady's to taste the typical fish and chips. Once I'm done eating, I'm gonna head to Churchill War Rooms, which actually it is the wartime bunker that sheltered Churchill and his government during the German attack in the Second World War. On the next and final day here in London, I'm gonna head to the London Zoo, where you can find many animals such as giraffes and gorillas. And this is also the set of a movie that was shot a long time ago. Does any one of you guys remember the first movie of Harry Potter? After going to the zoo, I'm gonna taste the steak and kidney pie at the Windmill. Then I'm gonna go back to the hotel, check out, and then I'm gonna take a taxi to Heathrow Airport. The plane is gonna take off at 10:30 p.m. The class is tourist class, and the flight duration is gonna be of 22 hours with 30 minutes, oh my god! So in order to get to Sydney, we have to make a stop at Changi Airport, Singapore's principal airport. There I'm gonna change a plane and finally get to my destination. Once I arrive at Kingsford Smith Airport, I'm gonna disembark, collect my luggage and exit through customs. Then I'm gonna take a taxi to Hilton Hotel, where I'm gonna check in, and then I'm gonna unpack at my deluxe room. And then probably I'm gonna take a nap. After resting, I'm gonna explore the streets of Sydney. During my walk, I'm gonna head to my first museum, the Australian National Maritime Museum, where you can see from ships, submarines, and the last of the big gun destroyers. Then I'm gonna go to my little cupcake, the manliest restaurant in the world, to taste the lamingtons, which are tiny sponge cakes of chocolate. After eating, I'm gonna head to the Museum of Contemporary Art, built in order to educate the Australians in the contemporary visual arts. On the next day, I'm gonna visit Haymarket. Haymarket is considered as the biggest market in Sydney. Then I'm gonna visit the Sea Life Sydney Aquarium, which it might not be as big as London's, but it surely has a lot of more variety of animals. Afterwards, I'm gonna head to Sydney Tower and eat at the restaurant which is located on the top. Pretty much like the World Trade Center in Mexico. After eating, I'm gonna head to Queen Victoria's building. This building took 5 years to be built, and nowadays it's being used as a market for the local people or the tourists, like me. Then I'm gonna visit St. Mary Cathedral, a truly piece of art of modern architecture. And then at night I'm gonna head to Sydney Opera House to watch the Australia Piano Quartet. On the next day I'm gonna head to Pavlova Pantry to taste pavlova, which is a cake made of meringue, fresh fruits such as strawberry and kiwi. In other words, a delicious fruit pie. Later, I'm gonna pay for a guided visit to the Blue Mountains and the Jinolan Caves, which probably are the most beautiful places to visit in Australia. After my long guided visit, I'm gonna head to Curry Cafe de Wills to taste the meat pies, which are, well, I think the name says everything. On the 12th day of my journey, I'm gonna head to the Koala Park Sanctuary, where you can find not only koalas but also kangaroos. Later, I'm gonna head to Bondi Beach, the most beautiful beach in Sydney. Then I'm gonna eat in a restaurant near Bondi Beach called the Bucket List. Here I'm gonna eat the Chico Roll, which is made of cabbage, carrots, celery, rice and barley. Then I'm gonna take a walk at the Chinese Garden, an exact replica of the original Chinese gardens. On the afternoon I'm gonna head to the Museum of Sydney, a place where I can learn everything about Sydney's people and culture. After the museum I'm gonna head to the Government's House. This one has been the residence of the Governor of New South Wales since 1845. And finally I'm gonna go to the Australian Museum, where you learn everything about Australia's history. Then I'm gonna go back to the hotel, check out, and take a taxi to Kingsford Mead Airport. My flight is gonna take off at 3:30, and it's gonna take around 23 hours. Oh god. So in order to get to Mexico, we'll have to make a few stops. First in Singapore and then in London. Once I arrive at Mexico City, I'm gonna disembark, go through immigration, get my baggage at the baggage claim, and then exit through customs. Then I'm gonna take a taxi to go back home. Now this is the difficult part. So the total cost of my days in London is about £1,945 with 29 cents. Convert that to pesos and you'll get 42,988 pesos with 24 cents. Now the total cost of my days in Sydney is about 1,963 Australian dollars. Convert that to Mexican pesos and you'll get 22,191 pesos with 34 cents. And finally, the total of the trip is 65,179 pesos with 58 cents. Yay! Now, if we convert that to dollars, we'll get $4,398 with 70 cents. Pretty much it. So I think that's it. Thanks everyone for watching and have a nice afternoon.